Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel if you've already been to the channel, and if you're new, thanks for having a look. Right, this is going to be the truth about bannock bread and what people were like when they actually went out and did journeys and had to cook it. We've got recipes, but the truth about it, there really wasn't any measuring. It was flour and water, basic. Might have had some salt if you had salt. If you didn't have salt, it was just a flour and water flatbread. But if you've got the extra ingredients, I've got some ingredients here, and we're going to cook on the fire. I've got a pan called a tava. It's a flatbread pan, sort of like Middle East. It's very popular over there to use these pans. It's just a flat piece of metal with a handle, so you can put it onto the hot coal and cook over it, on it. I've also got a different sort of pan, so you can put oil in this pan. You could do a little bit of light frying, fry some bread. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some bannock mix.
Every time I think I'm going to wake up back in the jungle. Every time I think I'm going to wake up back in the jungle.
Got the fire going. It shouldn't take too long to burn down and give us some hot coals. So as I said, the measurement is basically on how much do you want to eat. So if you're cooking for yourself or making bread for yourself, you know roughly how much bread you want. So I'm going to want about probably that much to start with. And I'll probably do a different type of bread as well and show you some different cooking techniques. And then I've got a little bit, this is self-raising flour, so this comes with baking powder in it. So you don't need any of this, but I have got a little bit. Just to show you, because a lot of people put this in. That's all I would put in, is a very small amount. No measurements, this is all by eye. Got a little bit of sugar. Again, just a little bit. If you haven't got the sugar or the baking powder, you can do it with just flour and water. There's a lot of places like India, roti, chapati, basic ingredients, flour and water, and you can make breads that way. Salt. Now salt is an optional, but again I will put some in. I don't put a lot of salt in. Just a pinch. You can put oil in this bread as well. Depends on how you're cooking it. If you're going to cook it on over the actual coals and that, I would put a little bit of oil in it, or butter. I've got raisins here as well, so that's another optional. You can have a sweeter bread with raisins. So far, we haven't measured anything. We've just looked at it, because at the end of the day, all this ingredients is edible. So you don't need to worry too much. And with water, the key is to add as little as possible. Don't go crazy with it. Just add a little bit. And then start stirring in. Because you can always add it, you can't take it out. You can add flour if you go too much though, so never use all your flour at once. Stirring it in. You want to make a nice dough. You don't want it too dry and you don't want it too wet. So you just add your water slowly. You know, no one's in a rush. If you're in a rush, you make mistakes. And when people say, oh, you need this much water, this much this, yeah, you don't know really until you're actually making it what you need. But the thing about it is people overthink it, and they're out there and they've got their recipe and then they're worried about getting it right. Overthinking it is complicating something that's simple. This is simple. It's the most basic bread mix in the world. It's a very simple old recipe. Goes back to, they say, the 5th century. And the word bannock, it's an old Northern English Scottish word, and they say it's taken from panaceum, which is Latin for baked dough, and panis is for bread. So if you go to France, you'll find that their bread's called pan, P-A-N. It's probably from the Latin word panis. Now I'm going to get my hands in this, so what I'm going to do is put you back on me. I'm going to put my hands in it, but I know it's going to stick to me, so I'm just going to get a little bit of oil, just a touch. I'm going to coat my hands with oil. That way I know it won't stick to my hands. This is another Indian. In India they do this when they make their breads, to stop this stuff sticking to them. Alright, let's get back down in there. This isn't the biggest bowl, but you know, I've got to carry this as well. Get some more water in there. I think we might be done with that water now. The fire's burning down nice. Get nice and wet. I've got to work this in because there's a lot of dryness in the middle. I've seen a lot of people do this on YouTube. They put it in a bag and they mix it in the bag. Yeah, if you want to prepare at home, I would. I'm just doing this video for the purpose of the video. I think I would have prepared this dough and I would have brought a dough, if I'm honest, if I was doing it from home. And this is starting to stick to me, but it's fine. It's not as bad though because I've oiled my hands. That's burning down lovely over there. I've come up to one of my old campsites. I haven't been here for a year or more. Now I want to add raisins to mine, so I should have done it during the dry mix, but it doesn't matter. This is the point. Don't overthink it. It doesn't matter. You make it how you want to make it, because it's just so simple. You can't really go wrong. You might have a few mozzies in there, but then again, it's protein, isn't it? Right, let's get some raisins in there. I like raisins, so we're going to put quite a few in. We're going to work these in. And also, if you didn't know, when you've got bannock, and it's Scottish bannock, because there's Irish bannock, there's so many varieties of bannock, but once you've cut a piece of bannock, it then becomes a scone. And I'm sure that everybody's tried a scone, wherever you live. And if you're in North America, the native Indians used to make bannock. The Navajo, they made bannock. So it is a spread out bread and recipe. I'm going to fan it out on my plate, on my metal plate. I don't know how strong this table's going to be. Let's have a look. So we've got a good dough here now. It's like a doughy texture. I did bring a cutter. I was thinking about cutting some of these into some smaller ones, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it as one large one. And obviously the flatter you get this, the quicker it's going to cook, because there's no yeast in it. The only raising agent in this is the baking powder. And the way that this actually raises itself slightly is that the speed of and the heat of cooking, it evaporates the water so quickly, it raises it up from the evaporation. So I'm going to put it on this one to cook. That fire's looking good. I want to get it before it gets too low. I'm going to put a bit of oil on here. You can dry cook these with a bit of flour, but I'm going to put a bit of oil on it, not a lot. Right. Let's get you over to that fire. This is going to go straight on a mess. This is hot. Let's basically just say it like that. It's a hot fire. So let's have a look. I want to get you a bit lower so you can actually see the fire. Let's get it on. Let's see how that quick that goes up. It's got to heat everything up. That's cooking up really nice. I'm going to move the camera around so you can actually see it at different angles. Got a squeaky tripod. I think that's slowly raising, slowly. But there's a lot of heat under that. A lot of heat. I've done this in the fire pit today because I didn't want to build a fire, dig a little pit, make a fire, and then mess about. Because I've come to this site, I've got all the makings of a fire, and I've got the fire pit here. I think people have been here using this site, to be honest. Things move about every time I come up here. So yeah, this is going all right. I'm going to flip that over in a minute. I think it's starting to burn. I can see a lot of smoke now, so let's get that flipped. It's cooking up well. I'm going to do another batch if the fire's going to... I've got some wood here because I want to do one on a stick, because traditionally if you haven't got this metal sheet or a stone or anything to cook on, what are you going to cook on? You can cook on the coals, but I'm going to cook on a stick. That's a very popular one, just to wrap it around a stick and hold your stick over the fire. I know they show on a lot of videos you tilt it up and tip it towards the fire. Yeah, that's an option. Let's have a look. Right. That's it. It's cooked. We're going to rip this now and have a look at it. The fire's roaring away. Yeah. Slightly doughy, you see. So I don't take out the edits, basically. That's going to go back on the fire. So let's get it back on. This is what I'm saying. It's not a science. Do it how you do it. No one's perfect. No one does it right the first time. You keep on going until it's right. If you feel that's burning a bit too much, you put a bit more oil on the pan. So I'm just going to leave that on there. I did notice on Ray Mears' video, at the very end when he broke it, it didn't look fully cooked and they just cut the video end. I mean, that's a bit, I think that's a bit wrong. You show it properly, you don't do that. So, I'm going to give that another 20 seconds and I'll flip it over and give it 20 seconds and see what we got. I'm not going to toss it because I know I'll drop it. It's not a pancake and I'm no good at that anyway. Even though people say I am a bit of a tosser. Right, let's flip it. Those little burnt bits, they aren't burnt bits, they're flavour, character and flavour. Like I say, there's no science to this and there's no, you just do it. Don't overthink it, get it on, cook it. So this is my first time of doing this outdoors on an actual open fire. Let's give that a try. That really has stuck. I can smell it burning while I'm sitting there. Come on. That might have been a bit too long. I think the raisins, it stuck to them. Right, let's have a look now. That's cooked. But that is the bit I broke. Let's break another bit. Yep, it's fully cooked. That's not bad. That's hot and it tastes good. I love raisins, so it sweetens it. Keep an eye on it because it has burnt a bit. That's really nice. I've tried this with coconut as well. Desiccated coconut flakes. It's alright. It's an achievement when you can cook something in the woods from ingredients and it ends up fluffy. And like I say, I don't edit, I don't cut out the bits where it's not perfect. Because life isn't perfect. And when you're out doing this, everything's harder to do. I mean, I've got a table here I built a year or two ago. I've got seating. Normally you'd be doing this on the ground. It's excellent. Like a big old biscuit. Perfect. Just don't overthink these things. Anyone can do this. Children, take your kids out and do it. Easily, and they love it. They don't think about it at all, they just do it. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut the video, stop it, and I'm going to prepare another batch which you've already seen me do, so you don't have to see it again. And then I'm going to get a stick and I'm going to cook it over the fire on a stick. Right, so we're going to cook on a stick. I've got a little bit of dough there I'm going to put on a stick. So we want to get a stick, preferably not too dead because it'd just be brittle. Clean off the bark because you'd never want to cook anything on bark. It's where all your bacteria live. So go down to the inner wood. Oh, now that's interesting. This has got a little bit of a branch coming out of it, and it's quite hard, so I'm going to leave that because that'll help hold my dough on, won't it? But I've got to get the bark off it. Right, now we're going to mould it. Got that little nodules that help hold it on. What they do normally is you roll it, get yourself a little sausage shape going on. This might fall off, you know, I've never done it, so it's all fun. Oh, shh! Dropped it on the floor. But in this environment, and you're hungry, you just got to go with that. Badness, that is. But I'm sure that's happened more than 1,000 times to people. But you learn after you've done that, don't do that again. A little bit of mud ain't going to kill us, is it? Right then, now I'm going to try and wrap this around the stick, flattening it out as I go. At this point, you're probably either throwing up or turning off. But I didn't swear, refrained myself from swearing. And there we go, like a little corn dog, covered in mud. Okay then. Yeah, see it's starting to crisp, but not crisp, but they're brown. But it's a thick bit of dough that, so I don't know what the internals are like. Well, it's nice and warm. Another tip I've heard is that if you tap it and it sounds hollow, you know it's cooked. And that sounds hollow to me. So I'm going to try and twist this and pull it off. Now, it's a bit doughy in the middle, but I don't know what I'm going to... Oh no, I say doughy, it's not that bad. Blow it out your pipe. Aye aye. Right, let's break it. Nah, that's fine. That's not doughy. It's bread. This is my favourite method. Reminds me of a samosa. You always bite a corner off on a triangle samosa. You bite one corner off the other corner. Blow through it, takes the heat out. I love this. You haven't got a way to hold it. And it keeps your hands warm. That's a hand warmer. By far, that's the way to cook it. That is beautiful. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was an eye-opener for me. It's my first time of doing it. I've been researching it a bit, and it's easy. And this is on the stick method. Do that on the stick method. It's brilliant. It's like nice. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Whenever you've got a cup like this on a fire, you've always got to check that rim, that lip. It's going to be hot. If you've not made bannock bread, get out and give it a go. What can go wrong? You get a bit burnt. It's fine though.